Wondering what life is really like on Canada's wild and crazy West Coast? This podcast is all about the people, the places, and Vancouver Island Time. Together, we'll explore this island paradise, a combination of ocean, city, and country living. We'll meet the fabulous locals, such as the Fudge Fairy and the Chicken Lady, who have chosen Victoria and Vancouver Island as their home. And we'll learn what makes this place unique and special to those who live here. And now, your host of Vancouver Island Time, Jane Johnston.
Hi, everybody. It's Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun, host of Vancouver Island Time. I'm here today with Linda Ferguson. We're going to be talking about the area of
Sunriver
in Sooke, fabulous Sooke, which is located just west of Victoria, downtown Victoria. It's about a 40-minute drive. It's 20 minutes outside of Langford, and it's right on the edge of a beautiful area of West Vancouver Island. And then we're going to be talking about her business, which is Frump to Fabulous. She's going to explain how she helps people achieve inner and outer beauty. I made that up, but I hope you don't mind me saying that.
Oh, God, no, that's what I do. Yes, I help women discover their inner fashionista at any age or dress size. Come on, girls, got to work with me here.
Okay, so let's talk about Sooke first. So you are not a native of Vancouver Island.
No, I'm from Ottawa. Then I moved to Montreal. Then I lived in Toronto for 13 years. So this is a completely different beast out here on the West Coast.
So I find often when people come here, and I was told this as well because I worked in downtown Victoria, that not to live on the West Shore, which Sooke is a part of, because it was considered so far out there. Do you find it that far?
No, because I have a car. So that allows me to get into the city on a regular basis. Yes.
And do you find the commute crowded, or is it like relaxing? How is it?
For me, I listen to podcasts when I'm on the road, so I just take that opportunity to learn and become educated. So it's not a hindrance at all for me. But for some other people, it might be. But then they haven't, I guess, faced the 401 at 5:30 in the morning. So really, the Sookeahala is not that bad.
I haven't found it that bad either. The only problem is slightly that there is one road in and one road out.
That is true. There is only one road in and one road out. So you just sort of plan your trips accordingly, And
what about in terms of networking? Because to me, you always seem like a very urban person. So to live in kind of a bedroom community, how do you reconcile that?
Well, even though I am pretty much a city person, it is incredible how much volunteer activity there is in Sooke. There are over 180 volunteer organizations here. It's incredible. And having been a director on the Sooke Chamber, met a lot of people. Also having been involved and as the coordinator for the Sooke newcomers, meeting people and introducing them to other businesses. It's incredible how much there is here. There's the Sooke Women in Business organization as well. So there's a lot here. You just, maybe you're not aware of it. If you're on the road all the time, you're not living and functioning in the community. Plus we have the Sooke Fine Art Show every year that brings in hundreds of thousands of people all over North America.
And you have lots of just community fairs and stuff like that.
Totally. Yes.
So in terms of schools, also you're like for the families out here. So you have French immersion and English schools. You also have French middle school. Yes. And then for high school, they do have to go to Langford for French though.
Right. So 7 schools, though, is pretty good. And here in Sunriver, you can walk to the high school, which is pretty amazing. So we have a lot of kids. The buses go through in the morning, pick them all up. So it's busy. It's great if you're a new mom, young families, because you have everything here and soccer fields and all of that, and a hockey arena, and swimming. So for young families, it pretty much has everything you need.
Yeah, so that would be at the Sea Park.
Correct, which is just down the road. Mm-hmm.
So I actually used to teach at that high school, and one of the favorite places teenagers used to go to was the potholes.
Oh, yes, still a popular. So this is where you bring your own noodle and you just sit in a pothole and just lounge away the day, you know? Oh, yes, totally. A picnic. It's great. Oh, yes.
Yeah, and it's so easy to get to. You just drive up the road and then you just like find a spot to park and walk down.
Totally. That's where they all go. Yes, young ones and the teenagers.
One funny story. So one day, a couple of students called in sick, and then the next day they were featured in the front of the newspaper.
Busy teens.
Anyway, not too bright. But what do you find about the community, though, here?
Well, when we first moved here 11 years ago, we didn't know anybody. And I went to a networking group at the hotel. And I met a graphic designer, and she designed business cards for me. And within 2 weeks, I was a member of the Sooke Fine Arts Society. So that just opened up a floodgate of opportunity to meet people from all over the world. And so I was part of that organization for over 4 years. My husband was on the board. And it's just amazing. We just met people, bingo, bongo, you know. It was great. It was great. A great opportunity to understand of where people come from, why they're here. We were surprised to find out that many people retired here because their children had been on an exchange from Europe. So we know many people from Holland and Germany and France. It's incredible.
Oh, I never really realized that. Yeah, that would make sense. So they came and they were homestay students.
Right. And so and then the children came back and they lived here, and then the parents moved here. So I thought, oh my goodness. And it was remarkable. Yeah.
So do you find it in general multicultural or not?
Sort of average, I guess. It's different than the mainland for sure. But it depends on which organization you belong to, you know, or sort of where is your tribe. But a lot of home-based businesses. And it's interesting, when I was involved with the Chamber of Commerce, we have businesses here that they work remotely, and they're in all of these, down these little roads and whatever, and they do business with China, and they do business with India. And we hardly ever see them at any of the events because they're always sleeping or, you know, getting ready for the next day. So because of the internet, it's allowed them to live, walk on the beach with their dogs, and have this amazing lifestyle. And many people that move to Sooke that we have met have come from the mainland.
Right, because they want to get away from it all.
That's right.
I found here, too, that a lot of people have more than one career.
Ah, well, you have an opportunity to do a side hustle, you know, which is so cool. And then again, opportunity to meet other people as well.
So today I was on the other side of Sooke, off Otter Point Road, which is right along if you go West Coast Road. I took a video, which I'll show you. It's totally beautiful. Really windy today, so lots of white caps, and I was hoping to see some whales. I didn't see any. However, I'm going up and driving up with the keys to this house, and I go past like a meadery, and then I go past a winery, and then I go past another distillery. And so, I mean, obviously people are making alcohol, but there's also, a blacksmith and lots of interesting, as you said, side hustles happening. People making a living out of it, though.
Yes, and artisans. Tremendous amount of artisans here, craftsmen, and it's very interesting that way. And that's what we were exposed to as being part of the Sooke Fine Arts Society, was how much talent is out here on this island. It's remarkable.
So one of the things that somebody said to me was when they moved here is they felt that people weren't welcoming. I do not find that at all.
Ah, I guess they haven't been to Ottawa. No, I think it all has to do with your perception of people. You know?
I think it has to do with you.
You know, like really. Like if you're out there and you're helping out and you're involved in the community, really, who's not going to want you? You know, really.
Yeah, you have to put yourself out there.
You do.
Okay, so what about, let's get to the basics of life. So people, what about food? We are kind of out there. So what about food out here?
There are many farms, and you can, of course, grow your own. We have a little garden, but many people grow their own food. You can also we have these farms where you can order your box food for a week and pick it up. We know many people that do that as well if they're not into gardening. But, we have farmers markets, pick up fresh eggs, it's quite an assortment if you're, part of that scene.
Where do you go for groceries?
Well, in town, we have 2 grocery stores, but, they compete with one another, Western and Village, and they offer pretty much everything. When we moved out here, the requirement was, it had to have a liquor store, a bank, and, basically, food, so that if we were stranded, if the bridge, for some reason wasn't working, could we survive? And we can. So it's okay. It's fine.
I find actually there's quite a lot of selection. I was actually just at the farmers. What's that place called in the mall on the south side of the street?
At Village?
Is that Village Market?
On Waterside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So, and then we also have, there's a butcher and who's just opened beside the brewery, because there are so many we have 3 craft breweries out here, and then Sheringham, they've won awards last year in London for their gin. It's amazing. So if you're not drinking, they're smoking. I don't know.
I found
it's busy.
I found it funny. So I drove past Sheringham today, and they're right beside the car and doggy wash.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So you just pop in, get your car done, pop over for your bottle, and you're good to go.
And what about the bakery, Little Vienna Bakery? Do you go there?
Yes, great place to meet up. And we used to have the Sooke Women in Business there. Now we go to the donut shop. But it's just availability, and how many women you can pack in to an event. But fresh baked goods, they offer gluten-free products, and you can order cakes and everything ahead. Lovely staff. And interestingly enough, these are new owners that just bought Little Vienna last year in November, and they're from Mill Bay. And they retired, and they came from the mainland, but they didn't like retirement, so they bought the bakery, and now they're moving to Sooke. So it's just, it's just interesting where your life is going, as you get to that point.
It's funny. I brought a person in from Croatia, and we went to Little Vienna Bakery, and she's like, "This feels really authentic."
Yeah. Well, they try. It has a lovely vibe about it,
And great food.
Yeah, very much so. Very much.
Where do you go for dinner?
We go to, in Village Market, there's a great little Japanese restaurant there that I go to. The best shrimp in town. Also at the Sooke Harbor House, they have the Copper Room, amazing lunches, fabulous views, lovely space. And you can also, we've been for dinner at Sooke Harbor House. It's just an amazing place to dine, fine dining at its best for sure.
Do you ever, so if you go away, where do you go away on the island? Where would you recommend for somebody to go away? Because you kind of live in a place where people come to.
All the time, right. This is where people exactly escape to. So we go up island. And we have family up island now, and it's different all along the island. Of course, we're in Sooke, in the basin, so we're on the west side. So then when you travel up island, more or less on the east side. So we experience different food and cheeses and things like that in Cowichan. Love the Cowichan Valley.
Did you go on the wine tours?
Oh, we've been on a couple. Yes, we've been on a couple, and on a bus with a whole bunch of people, and it's been fun. It's been lovely.
I find when I first moved here, there were people who've never left the island, and as I've been here longer and longer, I get it.
Oh, yes. Well, when the first year I was here, I was having my nails done and in Sooke, and this girl had never been to Langford. I was just about losing it because she had come from Pender Island, and for her, Sooke was huge. I thought, oh my, where am I? So, but I have met a few people like that, and I thought, oh my goodness. But I get it. If you're into your own little world, you don't really need to go anywhere else. Yeah.
And it's quite a big island too. Like it's the size of New Zealand.
Exactly. It's not a tiny island. Yes.
So, and there are many different, like weather. I listen to the weather on CBC every morning. It's a raining up island. Down here, we're quite lucky.
Very much so. And because on the southern tip of Vancouver Island, there are over 25 different microclimates. So, and I only know that because my husband tells me, because he has like 3 weather apps on his phone. But so what happens is the weather in Sooke is completely different than the weather in Langford. And we get a lot of sun here, and we don't get the colder temperatures because Sooke, like Langford's in a valley. So it's different.
You get more wind here, though, I think.
Well, for where we are in Sunriver, we're up higher, so we do. But if you go down to Whiffenspit, it is a lot colder. It's 10 degrees colder near the water. Makes a big difference.
Okay, so if you want to know more about the area of Sooke, please contact me. I'm Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun. If you want to know more about Frump to Fabulous, stay tuned because we're going to be right back with Linda, and we'll talk more about that.
Vancouver Island Time is brought to you by the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun, Victoria, where we bring local expertise and global presence to your property.
Hey everybody, it's Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun and host of Vancouver Island Time. We are back with Linda Ferguson and Frump to Fabulous. So tell me about how you came up with the concept.
Frump to Fabulous. Well, darling, as a fashion designer, my whole life I've always been helping women look their best. So last year I did a fundraiser for Transition House, Frump to Fabulous, where we took 2 women. They had to submit their name and fill out a form as to why they wanted a makeover. And it was so much fun. And the women, they learned so much about themselves because looking good has nothing to do with your age or your dress size. And it's very empowering when you know colors, fabrics, and clothing styles that look best on your body type, because we all come in different shapes and sizes.
Right. And actually, you've made some clothing for me, too.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. And you completely transformed from the beginning to the end when I first met you.
Right, because I was very frumpy.
It was a lot of black, yes.
And see, I've learned. Now I'm wearing color.
Yellow!
So, and we did that with the Women Network. We did that 1-year program, which was so, I found like at the end, they really felt like they graduated.
Well, it's interesting because you don't know what you don't know. So if you've never been educated on color and clothing and what it will do for you, and then it opens up a whole Pandora's box and you go, oh my goodness. And then you feel better, you walk taller, and it's so liberating for women. It really is.
We went to a store, and I remember you were talking about the lines of clothing, and so if the cut of the pant is one way, the cut of the jacket needs to be the other way.
Right. And just because clothing styles is all about, looking good, and it's line, proportion, and balance. You always want to have that look. So, yeah, and that's why women that are shorter and a little boxier, their clothing styles tends to be very square, and it's not flattering on them. And their sleeves are usually too long, but they design them that way because they're manufactured by the thousands, and it's cost effective for them, but it's not necessarily the best look for shorter women.
So you initially started out as a clothing designer, right?
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How long have you done that for?
Oh my gosh. It's like over 37 years right now. Yeah. A while.
And so are you still doing that?
Totally. And we're educating women more on really how to embrace your life right now with your muffin top, because so many women have that issue. And so I do a YouTube channel and help them with that. Yeah.
What's your YouTube channel called?
Frump to Fabulous.
Okay. So when you're working with a woman right now, what do you tell them when there are different styles coming in and out, different fads?
Well, the thing about trends is that trends do not always look good on us. So, for example, I love pastel colors and I love the color yellow, but I can't wear the color yellow because of my skin tone. My skin tone is the same from when I was born to it is now. doesn't change. So what happens, I have yellow on my walls. It makes me feel good. I feel joy. So you have to understand that even though you may like a color, it's not necessarily flattering on you. And all women know that. You will put on an outfit, a stranger will say, God, you look good, girl. And you go, oh, okay then, that looks great. You have no idea. You just liked it, but you didn't realize how empowering it was, because blue is an awesome color on you. Because when you wear blue, it's reflective on your skin, your eyes pop, and it's just, a certain shade of blue. But it color does a lot for people.
Yeah, I remember we were choosing the color of the jacket, and we were looking at an orangey red versus a kind of purple red.
Right. So that would be a red that has more blue in it, is an Indian red. And then you have a Chinese red that has more orange in it. And of course, it's still under the same umbrella of red, but not everybody can wear both colors.
That's true. I can't wear the orangey red.
There you go. Yeah.
When we were working together with women, and I was one of the frumpy ones, we talked about bras and stuff like that. What do you tell women for that?
Oh my God, the bra thing. Yeah, well, 80% of women aren't wearing the right bra. Puppies have to be up, and they change every 10 years. So women don't realize it. They think, oh, I'm this size until I die. No. And you have to go and be fitted professionally, because at the end of the day, your bra should just stand up by itself with your strap, without your straps, with just a band. The band and the cup are different sizes. And so it's educating how important the bra is. Also, we don't want to feel uncomfortable wearing a bra. It's not supposed to, make you feel like I have to whip this thing off. It's supposed to make you look and feel more comfortable and more supported.
Well, same with a relationship, right?
Totally.
Okay, what about in terms of underwear in general?
Well, you never want to have underwear that's pinching. So it's interesting that I had this conversation with my daughter about underwear, and I say, get the large. And she goes like, Mom, I'm not a large. I go, I know you're not a large. But the idea being you can't get your head around the number or a size. The fact is you never want to have underwear pinching. The large are not going to fall off, but they're just going to feel comfortable. And then if you're wearing pants and pantyhose over it, understand where we're going with this, because you do not want to see lines. Nobody wants to be picking things out. Don't want that look. That's not flattering at all. And usually there's some jiggly bits at the back. Women don't want to accentuate that. Tight underwear will always do that. So go for seamless underwear. You will pay more for these, but they will make you look and feel a lot better.
Put on your granny panties.
Hey, I'm big is better.
Okay, what about in terms of clothing? Pants,
well, that all depends. You always want to go for comfort. So I have this conversation with women about the length of your inside seam and your crotch, because some women are high-waisted, some are shorter. At the end of the day, it has to feel comfortable. If they're not comfortable to wear and have no stretch in them, you're not going to wear them. You're just going to throw your money away. But you want to have a pant leg that's flattering and pretty much from the knee down, pretty straight, and that would be flattering, and you'll get more mileage out of them. But you should always invest in a pair of pants, and you pick a brand, a label that you like, and get that in a couple of colors. And then just the idea being you can just do so, if it's in a solid color, you have a print top and a jacket, you'll get a lot of mileage out of it.
Okay. And I'm finding now, like on the West Coast, things are a lot more casual than they were back east. Do you find that?
Yeah, socks and sandals. It's a look, and it's something that, I see a lot of, and it's not something that I, educate my clients on. I figure if you're wearing socks and sandals, you need a closed-in shoe. But it has to do with your lifestyle, what you do. Really. Yeah. My clients basically are professional women, so they want a different look, But when you are, like both of us here, we're in jeans, and it's comfort first. But then there's polished comfort, and then there's the other.
So today, I row every morning, and so in the change room, we're talking about shoes.
These are rad.
And just the fact that the shoe can finish the look.
Totally. It's an accessory, right? So always keep in mind that it'll pull your look together. Whatever you're wearing on your feet, a bag, a scarf, just a simple accessory. It'll just take it up a notch, a brooch. Just something that sets you apart, that brings out your unique style.
So who is your ideal client?
My ideal client would be a woman who realizes that she hasn't been investing in herself for a very long time. She's been putting everybody else first, and then she realizes it's time for me. And basically, they come to the studio, and we have a conversation about what she's looking for. Yeah.
When do you find is that age? What is that age that happens?
Usually women in their 50s. Yes.
I would have thought younger.
Yeah, no, it's usually women in their 50s. And that's when the children have left the nest, end up in university, and they've looked for something. They haven't been able to find that special dress, a pantsuit, if they're going on a cruise. Get a lot of women who do cruises. And I put together a capsule collection. I've done that so often. And the idea being, you can't have a lot of clothing, but you have to have pieces that do multiple jobs, and they're lightweight, and also you can just launder them in the sink. And yeah.
So they come to you and they say, I'm going to the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. Can you give me a get together, something?
Yeah. Yeah. What have you got? What do you suggest? And because you have to have clothing that when you're going to a different climate that's going to breathe, and you're going to launder it, because my gosh, you can't bring anything on the plane anymore. You're limited.
What about skin?
Skin. Well, that's my side hustle. And so what I do, I'm a consultant with Rodan and Fields, and we are the #1 anti-aging in North America skincare line. And I educate women on sunscreen. And I just did on my YouTube channel a little education element on sunscreen, because when I was younger, as a natural redhead, I was stupid, and I did some dumb things in the sun, and I paid for it heavily.
Did you have like foil and oil on your face?
No, I didn't have the oil, but I did, end up on a houseboat on the Trent all weekend, and wow, I ended up at the hospital. It's just too much sun. I can't handle that. So I'm a huge proponent of sunscreen, every day, indoor, even in the winter, even when you're indoors. It really will. It just slows down your skin aging faster.
Oh, that's interesting, because since I was a phys ed teacher, I always wore sunscreen. I never realized why I wasn't burning and my students were.
Yeah. And it's education. And it's interesting because we seem to protect our young people more than we protect ourselves. And that's where investing in you becomes important. And again, at the end of the day, we're all worth it, but sometimes we need to hear it from somebody else.
Okay, let's talk makeup. In terms of your face, where should people focus on? Eyes, lips?
If you're a woman that doesn't wear makeup, the best thing would be to have mascara and lipstick. Like, that's simple. And you can get, mascara that's waterproof, or you can just have it so you wash it off every day. But if you just wear anything, a lipstick, and it can be in a nude shade. It does not have to be a bright color or anything like that, but it will make you feel so much better. And also wear an AM cream. You need to be wearing, a moisturizer every day. So
an AM cream meaning morning?
Correct. Yes.
So what do you get with Rodan and Fields? What kind of cream is that?
Rodan and Fields broke it down, and they're practicing dermatologists, so they realized that people needed to buy a product, a regimen. That's what pushes back, the signs of aging. So the idea being, you wash your face with a wash, you put a toner on to get your basic pH balance, and then you put an AM cream that has SPF of at least 30. And that's your morning. And then at night, you do the same thing again. And then there are 4 basic regimens, and you either have sun damage, you want to either fight wrinkles, you either have sensitive skin, or you have acne, and 30% of the adult population has acne, which is crazy.
Or back knee.
Yeah. Well, it gets crazy. It's like but everybody's skin's different, and your skin will react if you're under stress, if you're pregnant, so it happens. And how do you deal with it? Because if this doesn't look good, you don't feel good about yourself.
Well, you look fabulous.
Thank you, darling.
I find, like, for me, the best thing has been just remaining active.
Yes.
Has made me feel so much better about myself.
I'm a huge proponent of, fitness and exercise and eating well. And it's a combination of things in order to have a healthy lifestyle, because I do not want to be in the healthcare system. And no one is going to tell you to invest in you. You have to figure out you're important, and I'm going to take good care of myself so that I'm here a long time and I'm having a healthy, productive life.
Yeah, definitely health over wealth.
Oh, totally. Because the money that you have in the bank is not going to help you when you're lying on your back. If you need medication, everything runs out. It's just, it's an attitude, and you really have to invest in you.
So what would you say, top 3 things you would say to women if you want to turn your look around in general?
I think the first thing would be find out what their goals are. Why all of a sudden? What prompted this change? Then I would ask them about, are they interested in changing their lifestyle by talking about their diet and exercise? And exercise can be walking around the block for 30 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be running on a treadmill. And then going to the next level of, what's their favorite outfit? What outfit do they love wearing, and why does it empower them so much?
When I used to try on dresses and asking people for their input on dresses I'd wear to occasions, almost everyone could guess which dress I was going to wear. And I never realized it, because when I tried on the dress I really liked, I smiled.
Yeah, there you go. But you stand taller, and it just does something to you. And that's what clothing should do. We only wear 20% of what's in our closet because we have our favorites. But it really makes a difference. And it's not the amount of clothing, it's the clothing pieces. It's the pieces that you have that you get mileage with, that you can mix and match with other outfits. That's really what you're aiming for.
Okay, so to get in touch with you, how do people connect with you?
Oh, Linda at FrumpToFabulous.com.
Okay, and cell number
is 507-7723-250 extension. Yeah.
All right. So if you want more information about Frump to Fabulous, follow Linda. She is on Facebook, YouTube,
and Twitter and Pinterest and Instagram.
And if you wanted more information about the Sooke area, contact me. I'm Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Mosen. Welcome to the neighborhood of Sooke. Bye.
Welcome to the neighborhood. We hope you have had some insight into West Coast living. If you know of someone or someplace that should be highlighted in our podcast, we'd love to hear from you. Please go to VancouverIslandTime.com and click on our Connect button. See you next week on Vancouver Island Time with Jane Johnston.